My next guest is going to be taking on Chandler Cole this Saturday at Showcase MMA 17. It's Marcus Maulding joining me here on the program for the very first time. Marcus, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. Just got out of work.
Good stuff. What do you do for work? What's your day job?
I am a maintenance manager at Koala Wash in Chesterfield, Michigan.
Good stuff. Do you work right up until the fight, or do they give you a bit of time off leading into it?
I get about a week off.
Okay, good stuff. Well, it's great to be talking to you, man. I've heard your name for a while on the MMA scene. I wanted to start first with how you got into combat sports. Where did this journey start for you?
My dad was an avid boxing fan, so he got me into boxing when I was young. Didn't have really an extensive boxing career, but in 2011, I had a couple of buddies who were training, and they talked me into fighting, and I fell in love with it.
Good stuff. You got hooked. At what point did you know this was something that was more than just a hobby, that you wanted to do this as a career?
About 10 fights in to my amateur career. I had a lot of amateur fights. About 10 fights in, I realized, you know what, I'm going to continue going with this.
Good stuff, man. That's awesome. Did you have any influences? Like you talked about, obviously, your father getting you into combat sports. Were you like an MMA fan growing up, or did that come later? Like when did like the UFC get on your radar?
Honestly, I wasn't a fan. I was just pretty much working and doing, everything I was supposed to be doing. I wasn't actually really into it. And then I started learning and watching and just got really into it at that point.
Very cool, man. I see you fought as low as like 170 in your career. What is sort of your ideal weight class? This is a heavyweight fight here.
I fought as low as 155.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting. Yeah, so I got to do it. Yeah.
No, that was back in the Wild West days in Michigan as an amateur. So, but as a professional, I fought down as low as 165. Honestly, I always did better walking in at the weight I weigh during training. And after the years, I just continuously gained weight. And right now I'm about 230, 235, and that's where I seem to have leveled out at.
Nice.
And that's where I feel great at. Trying to cut to 205 and 185, it's definitely plausible. I can definitely do it. But it really, honestly, I have to listen to my body. I perform the best when I fight at my walk-around weight and what I train at.
No, that's good. You kind of recognize that as well. You're taking on Chandler Cole in this fight. Did you know much about him before taking the fight, or was he one of those guys you had to look up a little bit?
I knew a little bit about him. A guy here in Michigan, Derek Weaver, fought him. I was actually slated to fight Derek Weaver right before COVID started. So I got to look into him beforehand, He's an interesting fighter.
Yeah, and now that you've had a chance to assess him, how do you look at this fight from a style perspective?
I personally like it. I think that he believes he's going to be the faster fighter because he's always used to being the faster heavyweight. But in this case in point, I'm just definitely way faster than him. I know he's probably going to want to utilize his wrestling ability, which, I have lacked in the past and I've been working on strongly, especially knowing that he has a strong wrestling background. But I really like it stylistically. Who
are you training with? Who are some of your main training partners helping you get ready for this fight?
Right now I'm training at Primate MMA down in Detroit. I have tons of people. Honestly, I can't even.
Yeah, I know it's tough. Your job is to get punched in the face, not remember names. I get it. So.
Yeah, no, honestly, one of the biggest influences for me is we didn't get to link up much during this training camp, but Ryan, I butcher his last name. We call him Pokey. He is probably my best training partner overall just because of his weight and size and just the way he always just keeps me in check and things of that nature. We didn't get to link up as much this time around, but I definitely have to give him a shout out.
Cool. What's it like being part of the Michigan MMA community? Because it seems like you guys are all pretty tight-knit, and there's been a lot of success lately with Michigan MMA, from Jamal Hill to Chaos Williams. We had Cody Stamen make the UFC a couple of years back. Like, what's it like been being a part of a pretty lively MMA community?
Oh man, I actually fought Chaos twice as an amateur, so it's great being able to see him propelled to the next level. Jamal Hill's always hilarious. Everyone is like a really bad family, you know. None of us really get along until someone else is talking crap about us.
Right.
So it's kind of funny watching the MMA scene here because you just watch everyone bicker, but if someone else comes in and tries to say something, it gets cut immediately.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. And then, do you have to like cut any weight, or I guess you just walk in what you're walking in at for this fight at heavyweight?
You're correct.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And then, as far as your corner, who's going to be in the cage with you that night?
I'm going to have one of my coaches, Terry Brazil. He's coming down. He's going to make the trip. A couple of my coaches weren't able to make the trip. They had some unfortunate things happen in their family over the last couple of months, and I personally just couldn't ask them to come.
Understandable. How do you see this fight playing out on Saturday? How do you envision the fight playing out?
Honestly, I'm really thinking, I hate to say it, I think it's going to be a very drawn out fight. I would love to say I'm going to walk in and knock this guy out. He's tougher than that. I think I'm going to be able to show him my speed and things of that nature. But I think it's going to really boil down to me being able to stop him from taking me down. Come the third round, I think whoever's up then is going to have to continue to push their pace, and the other one's just going to have to go all out. And honestly, I've never said that in my career that I go to a decision.
What's sort of the plan for the rest of the year? Is it just sort of take whatever fights come your way, or what's sort of the game plan for 2021?
There's a couple of things that I'm looking at. I went and tried out for bare knuckle boxing. It's something that really interests me. Hoping to see what develops from there. But I really love to fight. I really love to compete with these guys to see how I stack up, and hopefully I keep active. But at this point, it's really hard.
What about downtime? What do you like doing outside the cage? I know you're a busy guy with work and everything else, but what would I find you doing when you're not in the cage? You watching any Netflix or playing any video games, anything like that?
No, actually, I'm just spending time with the kids. I got 2 kids. I have a 7-year-old boy and a 3-year-old little girl, and, they preoccupy all my other time.
Cool, man. Well, we're looking forward to it. It's Showcase MMA 17 coming up here March 27th. Marcus, really appreciate the time, man. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, I'll give you the last word.
Alrighty, you guys can find me on Instagram and Facebook under my name, Marcus Maulding. And then I want to thank CBD Battle Ready. They're a huge part of my camps. They make sure I get everything I need going. I really want to thank my family for, supporting me on this one. I got some local family in Tennessee that are going to be coming out, so I'm excited for that. And to you, Mr. Lynch, I really appreciate you taking your time out and interviewing me.